Hello, I'm Jacob Salem. Do you want to help improve accessibility on college campuses? Have you or someone you know been frustrated by a lack of access in higher education? Have you had problems getting a sign language interpreter for college activities or even your classes? This type of access is incredibly important. Often the first experience of true self-advocacy and empowerment for deaf and hard-of-hearing students is on college campuses. Laws exist that protect your rights as a student in elementary, middle, and high school, as do laws that protect you as a college student, but these laws differ in a few key ways. For example, elementary, middle, and high schools are required to provide IEPs, while colleges are not. Colleges instead have what's called an appropriate academic adjustment, intended to meet your needs as an individual and to prevent illegal discrimination against you. This could mean getting priority registration, a note taker, sign language interpreting services, or extended time for testing, among other things. You can advocate for your rights by utilizing resources available on campus, including school publications such as student handbooks that provide information about your rights. If you feel the school is discriminating against you, you may contact the school's ADA coordinator to file a complaint. It is the ADA coordinator's responsibility to ensure the college is in compliance with Section 504 and Title II of the Americans with Disabilities Act, which protect your rights under law. If you've made a request for accommodation and are not satisfied with the school's response, don't give up. You aren't out of options. Your advocacy can continue in the form of a lawsuit filed with the Department of Justice, Office for Civil Rights. For example, only a few years ago, Pima County Community College in Arizona entered into a civil rights settlement with the Department of Justice for refusing to provide a deaf student with a sign language interpreter. If you need more help or resources, you may also want to consider contacting the Conference of Educational Administrators of Schools and Programs for the Deaf, CEASD, the National Association of the Deaf, NAD, or Communication Services for the Deaf, CSD, for consultation. Now I'd like to share with you my experience advocating for myself in college. I attended the University of Central Florida, a huge school with over 65,000 students and an operating budget of $1.5 billion per year. The school denied my request for a sign language interpreter for my orientation week, failed to provide me with a note taker for my first week of classes, and denied my request for a sign language interpreter to support my participation in Greek life, student organizations, and other campus activities. I contacted the Office of Student Disability Services multiple times, but was frustrated at my lack of progress. I started conversations with instructors, administrators, department chairs, and supervisors about the university's policies. One by one, other students with disabilities joined the conversation and began discussing their frustration with services on campus. This was crucial because it raised the profile of this issue on campus. I had a friend who was a student reporter for the local news and reached out to her. Word spread like wildfire, and she asked for an interview.
Dr. Preston oversees the Office of Student Involvement, and he says each club is responsible for and should know how to accommodate their deaf members.
We work with the leadership to let them know that accommodations are the responsibility of the organization and they need to make sure that they're providing them.
But Salem still dreams of a day where he can easily go to an event on campus, just like everyone else.
I have a vision that one day all organizations would work together, especially the Student with Disability Service. Will help them get accommodation for students with disability. So one day that I can walk in an event and ask for accommodation, and they would say no problem. An interpreter will be there.
After the interview, I attended a town hall meeting with the school's administration, students, and the board of trustees. Myself and other students spoke about the frustration of being denied access and left out of the campus community. The administration finally seemed convinced that changes had to be made, and in the end, a recommendation was drafted and approved. That recommendation was critical to the process because it outlined strategies the administration could use to meet the various needs of students with disabilities. These improvements helped ensure that students with disabilities could freely access their university without the frustrating struggle to fight for access. You have the power to make a difference. Nothing is impossible. Deaf can.